everyone, Amanda again. So we are doing this mini album. I shared part 1 on Friday. I'll leave a link in the description box below which shows you how to construct the base of this mini album. It's really easy. And I'm not a massive bookmaker, I'm not a mini album specialist. I just like crafting. I love to create things and make things up as I go. And so that's what we've done here. So, you know, it's not anything fancy. It's just something that anybody of any level can have a go at. You don't need to be, you know, Kathy Otter King or anyone, you know, an amazing crafter. Anybody can make this, and that's why I'm sharing it. So what we're doing today is we are layering the inside of it with paper. I've made the measurements so they're super easy. You don't have to remember loads of measurements. It's basically the same measurements throughout, and we're just going to use some lovely paper to make the mini album look special, and then later on we will be decorating it. So I'll do the front cover and I'll give you some decorating ideas and share some tags and things. That might be a part 3, we'll see how we go, because I don't like them to be too long. Right, so we've added all of our pockets. We've got bottom pockets and side pockets, so whichever way the pocket's going, whether it's a bottom pocket or a side pocket, your measurement to layer your DSP is going to be the same. All you've got to do is bear in mind which way you're cutting it if it's patterned paper. So if it's running on a bottom pocket, you want your pattern running that way. So if that was a side pocket, that would be the wrong way around. You'd need to cut it the other way. So if that's too confusing, use a generic pattern, and then it doesn't matter which way around you cut it. Alright, so bottom pockets and side pockets all need to measure 5 5/8 by 3 1/2. All right, no they're not. 5 5/8 by 2. This one's 5 5/8 by 3 1/2. So this one is 5 5/8 by 2, 5 5/8 by 3. So the width is always 5 5/8. It's the same on this full sheet here. That's 5 5/8 as well, so it makes it easy to remember. And that one is 5 5/8 by 5 5/8. Okay, super simple. So we're going to glue these down. So again, they all measure 5 5/8 on the length. This one measures 3 1/2, and this one measures 2. This one is 5 5/8 by 5 5/8. Couldn't be any easier. So let's get them glued down. All right, and I've done it so that you don't have to put a full sheet of paper there and then put the pocket over. The way that I've done it will save your supplies. Okay, it's a bit more frugal on the paper. All right, because nobody's going to see inside the pocket. Nobody's going to see inside there. So if we layer this on nicely, it will just leave you a nice gap. Okay, so you'll have an even gap there, an even gap there, and an even gap there. So you don't need to paper the inside of the pocket. Like I say, it's saving you paper. Alright, and then this one, make sure I've got it the right way up. So it's the same, it's just the back of it, okay? And the good thing about doing that, if you've got double-sided paper, is that you know it's going to coordinate. If you use the same paper pack, you know the colours are going to match. This happens to be Forever Fern from the Forever Fern Greenery Sweet from Stampin' Up. You can use whatever you want. I just love this paper at the moment, and because like I say, if you use the same paper pack throughout, whatever you do, your colours are going to match, and it doesn't really matter what papers you put where. But what I've tried to do is where it's a pocket, then you put fancy paper, and where there's a back to a pocket, you put plain. And if it's a full one, then I've gone for fancy again. Alright, so the patterned is decorating the pockets, then plain. But if you've got a full one, use patterned. And that's how I've gone throughout. Okay, so this is my 5 5/8 by 5 5/8, and that's how I've gone throughout. And you're just repeating the same thing on each, you know, all the pages are all more or less the same. You've either got a bottom pocket or a side pocket, and the measurements are the same. Okay, so it makes it really easy, and that's why I've done this, and I've done it really basic, because if you're starting, you don't want to be cutting your papers wrong. you know, and having a million different sizes, because that can leave you with wasted paper. This really doesn't waste hardly any paper at all. Okay, so that's that one. And then we're going on to the side pocket, like I said here. So here's my side piece. So I've made sure my pattern's running the other way. Okay, so this is going to be my side pocket. So again, this measures the same, 5 5/8 by 2. And the background to it is the same as before. That is 5 5/8 by 3.5. So it's the same. And then again, we've got another full page, 5 5/8 by 5 5/8. So it's just the same all the way through. Okay. And again, pattern paper on the pocket, plain paper behind. Okie dokie. It's also a really good way to use up, you know, if you've got double-sided paper and some of the pages you don't really like them, maybe, use the plain pattern side on the back. That fern is not my favourite paper, but that I like, so I'll use that bit. Okay, and this is a lovely, it literally, I think I used about 3 sheets of 12 by 12, if that, so far, and a bit of cardstock. So it's quite frugal on your supplies. Like I say, it's easy enough to do. You don't need, you know, a degree to work out the sizes. It's super simple. And when I put it on my blog at the end, when I've done, like I say, I don't know if this will be the last video or if I'll do a part 3. When I have done, I will leave all of the measurements. I will do a blog post and leave all the measurements on there. Okay, but I haven't done that yet, so don't go looking for it today because it's not there. And then here, I mean, I could have that if I wanted, but to me, I could have that one, but to me that looks a bit dark and I like the lighter to contrast, okay? But you can do what you want and you can have what you want. This is quite a plain paper. You know, there's nothing worth fussy cutting and raising up on it. Probably going to do some die cutting from the same range to do a bit of decorating, but you can leave them plain. And that's a nice size for photographs, that 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. You could put one there and one there, or you could have a big one. We've all got printers these days, most people have, and you can print out what size you want anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alright, I just like to make these, and just for the sake of making them. I don't even always put photos in them, I just like making them. You know, it gives me something to do, it gives me something to focus on. It's a way of using my beautiful papers, and sometimes you can sell them, you can swap them, you can gift them. You might do craft fairs, you can sell them there. You know, they look lovely when they're done. So we're going to do the front page later. So we've got a front pocket, then we've got a full one, then we've got a side pocket, another full one. Okay, then we've got 2 bottom pockets there. That's a nice spread, I like that. And then we've got a full one. Then we've got where I did the flaps. I did show you how to do that really easy. Now the measurements on these are just ever so slightly different because I cut those. You know, I just did a sliver so that they'd shut nicely, because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do on the closure yet. So 5 7/8 the same, but I think these were just ever so slightly different. I think I did 2 3/4. Yeah, 2 3/4 on those ones, so they're just a tiny little bit bigger, a bit different. Alright, and then what you do there, which is 5 5/8 by 2 3/4, you do the same on the inside. That is 5 5/8 by 5 5/8. Super easy, don't get any easier than that. Plain, side pocket, bottom pocket plain, side pocket. Now this is a lift up panel, so all we're doing here is 5 5/8 by 5 5/8, 3 times, glue it on. I mean, it doesn't get any easier, but how nice is that? A little bit of an interactive page, great for beginners. You don't have to have it all waterfalls and you know, things that look like a pick a colour, pick a number. Just a basic mini album, if you're learning, is more than enough. Alright, so we've got a side pocket here and a side pocket there, and because we did the 1/4 of an inch where we took it over, you've got the full width of that, okay, and the glue's not going to be sticking because it's tucked under. Alright, and then we've got 2 plain pages, and then on the back there we've got 2 bottom pages. Sorry, this is the back. We've got a side and a plain. Alright, so that's quite, you've got how many pages? 1 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And then we've got the one that folds out, 24. So that's basically 25 different page opportunities there. Alright, so I'll come back when I have made some tags and things for the pockets and show you how to make those. See you in a minute. Okay, so the next part that we're going to do are the photo mats. Okay, so these go in the pockets, in the bottom pockets and the side pockets. I've already made some. There we go, there we are. I've made all of the ones to go all the way through, and there's one in there as well. And there we go, another one. In total you're going to make 13 of these. Okay, you can put photographs on, you could journal on them, put photographs on the back, lots and lots of things you could do. Okay, so throughout you get 13, so that's another 13 photo mat opportunities, as well as the actual pages of the album. So I'll show you how I've made that. So again, the sizes are super simple and they're all exactly the same. So these measure, what do they measure? I've forgotten. These measure 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So all you've got to do is cut them all the same. Alright, I've used 13. So you'd cut 13 at 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. And then 13 either plain white or in your preferred DSP at 5 by 5. Okay, I've used white cardstock because seem to have a huge stash of it. And what I've done is I've hand stamped. I'm using up my DSP, I've not got much left, so now I'm going to hand stamp. So I've chosen some colours and I've chosen the stamp that matches my DSP, which is the Forever Fern or Forever Greenery or whatever it's called, can't remember. So I've picked Just Jade, Pretty Peacock, Mossy Meadow and Pear Pizzazz, because I know that those colours match my paper. That's one of the good things about Stampin' Up, you know what colours to use because it tells you what's in the paper. Right, so what I'm going to do is start with Pear Pizzazz. This is my favourite green colour. So I've got a scrap here I'm going to stamp off, and I'm going to go one in the middle and then one either side. Alright, and then I'm going to do exactly the same mirror image at the top. You can do exactly the same design on all 13 or you can vary it. Alright, I have slightly varied mine just because I get bored if I do the same thing over and over. But you know, if you're making these, wanting to make them quickly, wanting to make them in bulk, more than one at a time, you just do them all the same. Makes it just that bit easier. Alright, now I'm going to go with my Just Jade. I'm using another stamp. Let me move that out of the way. Okay, just stamp off. I'm going to just have one there, and I've stamped that the wrong way around, haven't I? I've stamped that leaf the wrong way around. Let me do it again because I've done it wrong. Right, let me do that again. I've stamped them the wrong way around, so I'll just do it again. That's why we've got two sides to a sheet of cardstock. And so then if you stamp something the wrong way around, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so that's that. So let me get my Pear Pizzazz back because I did it wrong. Okay, let's do it again. One there, one in the middle, and you can just stamp straight over the top, it's fine. Okay, one in the middle, one to each side. There we go, simple as that. And then I'll have the little, what's meant to be like the flower bud, we'll have that. Okay, and it doesn't matter what combination you use, just pick a few colours that are similar and just layer them up, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp off twice on that one. Alright, and then just have that over there. Stamp off twice, and we'll have that one there. There we go, that'll do. I've stamped it in the wrong ink, but never mind. Never mind, let's move these out of the way a moment. but I'll just leave them to hand because we're going to make some tags as well. Alright, really quick and easy tags. For the tags, I've used up all of the offcuts from when I've cut these photo mats. All of the offcuts I've then turned into tags so that there's no waste. Alright, so I'll layer that on there like so. Okay, I've smudged that a bit, never mind, I'll go back and I'll make another one. I've smudged it because I'm rushing for the video, but not to worry. So that will then, just turn it over, give it a press. That will then, before I send this album out, I'll redo that one because I've rushed it and it's smudged. That goes in there and all the rest are perfect because I took my time and let the ink dry in between. Okay, so with the offcuts we're going to make some tags which you can slip in. Alright, and the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to make some sort of closure for this, and then I will come back on another video. It might be Monday or Tuesday now, maybe even Wednesday, and what I'll do is I'll have this all decorated as well, using the die cuts and things, and I'll show you the finished thing, but the construction is all there for you. So I've used the, like I say, the offcuts from the white card. I've used 2 different Stampin' Up! Tag punches. That makes my life quicker and easier. All I've got to do is cut my cardstock to 2 by 4, 2 inches by 4 inches, and then I've got these 2 punches, which just, all I've got to do is punch the shapes and I'm done. Easy. If you don't have a punch, just cut them in rectangles 2 by 4 and then just leave them like that. And then what you can do is, let me just quickly show you, we can do some more stamping on there. Alright, so if I grab, say for example, this one with the little bobble, I'm just going to give it a bit of a clean, I think. Just give it a bit of a clean with my Simply Chamois. Okay. Get some stamps lovely and clean with that. I've got my Simply Chamois. I might just use that one as well. Alright, so I'm going to bring back in Just Jade and Pretty Peacock. And then all I've got to do is just repeat stamp. I'll just use this piece of scrap paper here that I've been stamping on, that I wrote the measurements of the photo mats on. I'm just going to borrow that for a moment. Am I in shot? I am. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to just stamp off, and then I'll just stamp that on the corner like so. And for me, that would do as a tag. Alright, what I might do at a later date is I might layer behind with some more cardstock. I'll show you on another video. If I do that, I'll just be cutting the card the same size and then doubling it up. So all I've got to do is just repeatedly do the same thing. Okay, on there. And there's another one. Okay, you could add a little word on there. If I do some more decorating, I will show you in the final video. And then on this one, I'm going to have one of these little flowers. Let me just stamp that off and then just add that on the corner like so. In fact, I'll stamp that twice like that. I might even do another one down there. Alright, and then I've got a little tag there. I mean, it doesn't get any easier, does it? 1, 2, 3. There you go, little tag. You can journal on the back of them and write the dates of your photographs. Lots and lots of possibilities. Okay, so 1, 2 and 3. Right, we might as well keep going. Then another thing that you can do with your tags, I've got these left. I've got these strips left off from the offcuts again from making the album. And what you can do is you can use these little strips to decorate your tags. So all you've got to do is literally, here we go, we'll just use this strip here. Let me move that inky scrap out of the way. So all I'm going to do is, tell you what I'll do, let me move these inks. I'm just going to measure there, give it a snip. It's about 2 inches. because obviously the tags are 2-inch wide. Add some glue and use up them scraps. Okay. There we go. Put it straight. And that's one done. And just keep going until you've finished all of those tags. Alright? And then I will probably come back and I will add some little words to them. In the set we've got the like the little hello and the love and laughter, forever after, things like that. You can use these little words, you can stamp them out and stick them you know, wherever you want them. So the only other thing that I need to do now is I have cut this piece here, and I'm going to use this as the locking mechanism for the flat part. So this measures, what does it measure? I've forgotten. This measures, because I've just been creating, and again I've used the scraps, 3 by 5. So this is 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. Alright, so I'm just going to glue that on there like so. You could, that's blobbed, isn't it? Let's just scrape some of that off a bit. Okay, this is just one idea of how to close the flap. You could, there's loads and loads of different ideas you could use. I was going to do the slide and lock mechanism. I've done a card using that, but I thought for a beginner it might be a little bit complicated, so I thought I'd just make it super easy. Alright, so here we go. I'll find you the page with the flap. Where is it? So it's here. So it opens like so. Alright, we've got another photo mat in there that I've created. So we're going to use this and it's going to lock it. So what we need are 2 little strips, top and bottom. Okay. So I'm going to use some cardstock here. So let me give, that's 4. I'm going to make my the width of my strips. So let me have a think. I'll make it 4, and that's not big enough. Let me get my big trimmer in. So I'm just making these measurements up as I go. I've not planned it, so I'm going to make it 5. Alright, no I'm not. I'm going to make it 4 3/4. 5 will be too big. 4 3/4. So I want 2. 1 for the top, and hold on, how wide is that? 1.5. 1 for the top, 1 for the bottom. So 4 3/4. And then I just want them 1 inch. Okay. Let me bring my mini trimmer in up to the 1 inch mark. There we go. Boom. Alright. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to score each end at 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. Okay. Same there. I don't even know if this is going to work. I'm making it up as I go. We'll see, won't we? I'll be as surprised as you will. Literally. And then what we're going to do is, I've got some more of this paper. So what's this going to measure? It's going to measure, when I've finished folding over the edges that I've created, it's going to measure 4 1/4. So I want this to be 4 by 3/4 inch. So I'm going to do 3/4 inch first, and then 4 that way. Okay, because I'm going to layer it up. I'll do the same here. That's 1. 3/4 inch by 4. Okay. Just pop that there. Just nip that out of the way. Alright, so I'm going to fold those 2 edges over. That's where we're going to attach it. Alright, and then I'm just going to layer with my paper. Okay. And then the decorating, I will come and show you so you can see what I've done, but it would be an hour-long video because I'm going to do some die cuts and layer it and add some words, but I will come back and show you you know, the end result. But to put that on a video, it'd be like watching grass grow. I can't do that to you, you'd be bored. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself a range of die cuts, all cut out ready. I'll get a big pile of them, and then I will be decorating some of the pages. And when I've done, like I say, I'll come back and show you. I might do them all except for one page, and then just show you one page decorated. But for now, you've got the bare basics of how to go away and make this album, and make all of the photo mat, all the pockets, all the photo mats, and the tags. Alright, so we've got 13 photo mats. As for the tags, just use up your scraps till you've used them all. There's your challenge. Whatever scraps you've got left over from making it, turn every single one into a little tag, because you'll have more than enough space to put them in, and it's a way of not wasting absolutely anything at all. Right, so now I'm just going to use my red line tape, and we're just going to get this on here like so. And in total, it'd probably take you maybe, I don't know, if you focused and didn't keep going on Facebook like I do, and getting up to see to the dogs and doing a bit of housework and having a shower in between like I do, you'd probably get this little album done in half a day very easily. Because I've already done most of the work for you. I've worked out the measurements. All you've got to do is copy them. Okay. Cut all of the things all out at the same time, get them all in a line, do all of the matting at the same time. It'll take you no time at all. And then the fun part is, for me, is the decorating, and that is where you can turn this simple design into something really special, or you can leave it plain and just be happy with it as it is. Not everybody wants to decorate everything to death like I do. Okay, let me just try and get this slippery little sucker off of here. There we go, get off. Okay, and I just like to do these from time to time. I just find them really fun. So I'm just going to look for kind of like the middle of that section there, like that. Okay, I'm eyeballing it. If you want it to be precise, you can measure it. I'm a bit of a messy crafter. I'm not bothered if things aren't perfect. I just do them by eye. Okay, so one at the top and one at the bottom. Another thing you could do is turn that into a pocket and then tuck that as a pocket, and then that will hold it as well. I'm just going to do 2 little strips. Okay, like so. So one top, one bottom. And get it kind of straight, like so, like that. Alright, and then you've got a little locking mechanism for that page now. That will stay shut, it won't come open, and then when you want to take it open, you slide that out and open it. Absolutely easy as pie, there's nothing easier there. Alright, you could probably put another one in, have a couple of tags in there maybe, put a few of these in that you could then use as photo mats. It'll probably hold more than one. Alright, so that's as far as we're going for today, so that you can watch back and catch up with me. I'll give you a quick flick through. So we've got a tuck, a pocket and a mat, full page, side pocket and mat, full page, mats there. That one locks and unlocks and opens like so. We've got a photo mat in there. Alright. And then we've got a side pocket with a removable photo mat there. One there, and there, and there. That one flips up like that. Pockets, plain, pockets, side pocket. So then with our tags, you get your tags when the ink's dry, and you could add ribbon in the top, and then you can just distribute them wherever you like. Okay, one in there maybe, like that, one in there. Okay, and just keep adding them, and these are a great way to just use up your scraps. Okay, another one in there. Another one in there. And then just keep going until you've used them all up. Okay, finished decorating these. And then when we come back on the next video, I will have decorated most of the album and I'll leave just one page to share with you. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic weekend. I will be live on my Facebook business page tomorrow at 11 a.m. GMT if you fancy coming and watching me for some live card making. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.